in a way that the government facilitates their provisioning without the government being the customer.
This is a good jumping off point to to the next then topic. There's a bunch of things happening in government that I just want to get your guys' reaction to. One, which was the crazy summary that somebody did about the reaction to Biden pulling out of Afghanistan. Okay. The second is, unfortunately, Biden reiterated Trump's decision on refugee numbers just today. So he had a pledge that he would, go back to the original numbers, the Obama level numbers. And he said he's not going to, he's going to keep it at the Trump level, which basically says, very nominal refugees. And then the third is the growing frustration and perceived incompetence of the CDC. And now you have the entire business community starting to push back. Those are three completely different things, but they just speak about some government things I'm curious about your reactions to. Anybody? Everybody?
Well, I mean, the thing that highlights for me is the media double standard. And I think this is why a lot of people are going to centrism and why this podcast has become a purple podcast and a rational podcast, because AOC was going down to the border, hysterical crying. You remember the photos, they were all dressed in white. And is there any difference between what Trump did at the border and what's happening now? Doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's a problem that they're both trying to solve, and it's 90% the same outcome. And then you look at Afghanistan, Trump's like, we got to get out of here. And then the press dunks on him, like, how could you do that? And now Biden's doing it and he's getting high fives. And so I would just like to see some consistency from the press and the reaction and Americans on these issues, which seem to be non-winnable, or, how much do you lose in these instances? Like Afghanistan's a lose-lose, and the border is a lose-lose. Like there's no winning, I don't think, in some situations that a president has to face. I'm interested in what Sacks has to say.
Well, yeah, I saw that tweet storm on the media double standard around Afghanistan. We should show that and link to it in the show notes, because whoever it was,
it's incredible.
It's incredible. I mean,
incredible.
This is like definitive proof of the media double standard, where he goes he does a side by side of every single major prestige media outlet, their coverage on Trump versus Biden's drawdown in Afghanistan. Trump did the major drawdown and I think got us down to maybe like 1,500 troops there. I think he missed a political opportunity not to just go all the way down to zero. Then he could have taken credit for ending the war, which I think he wanted to do. For whatever reason, he didn't get it done. And he basically handed Biden a beautiful opportunity just to kind of end the war once and for all. I think it's very popular. We've been there for 20 years. I think people want to get out. So I think Biden's decision was politically correct. And I think it was the right decision as well. I think it's time to be out of there. But yeah, the coverage in the press was just completely hysterical about Trump doing it. It was predicting all sorts of negative consequences. And then when Biden did it, like Jason's saying, it was nothing but kudos. So,
well, CNN
not only is the press not objective and not impartial, but they change their mind about a particular issue based on which team is doing it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the two quotes, they have a CNN tweet that he just screen grabbed CNN on the same issue. It says, this is reckless and it's really risky of Trump's plan to withdraw troops. And then the next CNN tweet from this administration, President Obama praised President Biden's bold leadership to withdraw from Afghanistan by September 11th.
And there's dozens of these. NPR, CNN, New York Times, Washington Post.
Over and over again. And then I think this is why Americans hate the media.
Absolutely. I mean, this is what the conservative side would call the mainstream media, MSN. But they are proving their bias right here. I mean, and they're increasing irrelevance. This is why the American public don't trust them, don't listen to them, and don't care what they have to say.
Brad, what do you think?
Well, I wanted to,